There are a lot of services online that claim that they can help you shortlist universities for your MS degree. One advice I would like to give you is that never let others decide what you should do with your life and your career. Always do your own research and then decide what you want to do. In this video, I'm going to guide you step by step on how you can decide which universities you need to apply to for your MS degree. I will make a separate video for PhD shortlisting very soon. As always, feel free to browse any section that you want using the timestamps below. I'm doing a university shortlisting session at the end of this month or maybe early next month. The session will be live on YouTube and a link will be sent out on my mailing list. You can either subscribe to my YouTube channel, join my mailing list, or do both in order to get the notifications first. Before we begin, let's decide on a strategy that we will follow throughout this whole applications process. Personally, I recommend applying to about 10 to 12 universities. Furthermore, we can divide these universities into 3 separate categories. The first category is called safety colleges. These are the colleges that you can easily get into and they serve as a backup just in case. Second category is moderate colleges. These are the colleges that are suitable based on your profile and you are very likely to get into at least one of them. The third category is ambitious colleges. These are the colleges that are slightly above your profile, but since this whole process is very subjective, who knows, you might just end up lucky. A very good division between these colleges could be 2 safety net colleges, 5 moderate colleges, and 3 ambitious colleges. Here's how you can choose colleges for these categories. Number 1. Profiles of accepted students. Before we even begin the whole shortlisting process, we need to find a benchmark. We need to find out what these colleges are looking for in their prospective students. Some colleges give more weightage to GPA, some colleges care more about projects, some colleges may care more about your work experience. We do not know that. So first, we need to go out, research and find out what is this benchmark, what is this profile that these colleges are looking for in their prospective students. There are a lot of websites which post stats, what's the GPA that is required, what's the GRE score, projects, publications, etc. But in most cases, I've personally felt that this data might be outdated. So we need the most up-to-date information about how these requirements or how these standards by universities are changing over the years. For this, I suggest Grad Cafe. Grad Cafe is a very popular forum where you can go and you can search your college, your department, your degree, and find out profiles of students who were admitted, and people also post other sorts of comments that may be helpful in your entire process. There are also several Facebook groups where people who are admitted to certain universities post about their own profiles. You can go to these groups, you can look at those profiles, and in some cases you might even be able to ask these students some questions that you need or clarification that you need about the universities. These groups, these forums are an amazing resource to find out what is the perfect profile that these universities look for in their prospective students. Once you have browsed through these forums, you might get a very good idea about where your profile exactly fits in. These are your moderate universities, or at least we know that universities that are similar to these universities can fall into your moderate category. Now we can work from here. Number 2, university rankings. Once we have found out what our moderate universities, or at least have some idea about what our moderate universities are, we need to go out there and find out other similar universities. We need to ensure that our search space is large enough so we do not miss out on any good opportunities. For this, we need university rankings. Beware of rankings. Some of these rankings take stuff into account that might not even directly affect you. For example, there are certain rankings that care about how much money the alumni gives back to a university. There may be some rankings that give more weightage to the age of a university. I mean, sure, these things matter maybe to some people, but for you who are out there to just get a job, get an education, these things are not really important. So you need to be aware and you need to actually realize the biases in every ranking. So when you look at a ranking, don't just look at the ranking. Also go and look at their criteria, their methodology, and then decide if this is a ranking that you want to follow. To offset the biases in different rankings, I suggest that you look at multiple rankings at once and make a more holistic decision. I personally recommend looking at US News, QS, and Times Higher Education ranks, because I feel like these will give you a broad idea about where a particular college falls into. Once you have found out the rankings, try to locate your moderate colleges in these rankings and also look for other similar universities plus minus 10 in these rankings. This will give you a good idea about what colleges you should probably apply into. Now, also look at colleges which are above your college and below your college, or like above your moderate category or below your moderate category, because these are your either ambitious colleges or your safety net schools. Okay, so now we have a good idea about what our moderate, ambitious, and safety net schools look like based on rankings and profiles of students. But coming to the most important things, which is what is your goal out of that degree, which is in most cases jobs. So how do we decide if a particular university is good for the job that you want to do? For this, I recommend LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn, do a search of your university, your program, and find out other students who have graduated from it. Look at the type of jobs that they are doing. Also look at some more senior students and see how their careers have progressed. What is the type of the job they got right out of college? What is the job that they got once their career progressed? Are you happy with this career progression? Are you happy with the jobs that they are doing? If yes, then note down the name of this university and maybe give it a serious thought. In some cases, even though a university is very prestigious, you might see that a lot of students do not get the type of jobs that you are looking for. In this case, if you find that the university cannot provide you the kind of jobs that you want, it's better to just move on. Next important thing that we need to keep in mind is the coursework. Some universities actually give you a mandatory list of courses that you are supposed to do instead of giving you a choice in deciding what kind of courses you want to do. This, in my opinion, is not good. As a graduate student, you need some flexibility in deciding the type of courses that you want to do, because at the end of the day, this is your career. So go to the department's page and find out if they actually give you academic freedom in deciding your own courses. They might have a certain number of mandatory courses, but as long as a majority of courses based on your choice, I think it's good enough. Next important thing is trying to find out if the university is actually updating its curriculum every year or every few years. Some universities still teach outdated curriculum, like curriculum from like 20, 15, maybe 30 years ago, and they never even bother to update it. So go to the department's page and see the names of the courses and the syllabus. You need to make sure that the courses the university is providing are up to date based on the latest developments in the world. Finally, let's talk about finances. You need to always take into account the worst possible case. The worst case is what happens if you do not get any funding. In that case, you might need to take out a loan. So you need to make sure that whatever the fees of the university is, that is within your budget. So whatever universities are on your shortlist, go to their website, look at their tuition fee page and see how much you will spend every year. Next thing you have to take into account is also living expenses of that particular city. Combine the two and see if that fits within your budget. If yes, keep the university. If no, throw it out. If you are really concerned about finances, I suggest you go to a public university. Public universities, on an average, in general, have less fees when compared to their private counterparts. This means that whatever the case be, these universities are more likely to fall into your budget. Also, a lot of top public universities can actually fund you using TA, teaching assistants, or RA, research assistantships. This means that if you can bag a good TA or a good RA offer, you can have anywhere between half of your fees or all of your fees completely being paid for and funded by the university, which is, in my opinion, the best case scenario. Finally, think about the location of the university. Is it in a very cold area? Is it in a rainy area? Is it in a big city? Is it in a small town? Does that city, does that town have things to do that you really like to do? Does it have a lot of hobby places? Does it have maybe theme parks, beaches, mountains, hiking trails, whatever you want? You need to ensure that since you're going to live in that place for anywhere between 1 to 2 years, you need to ensure that there are enough things that you can do to pass your time and enjoy your stay there. A lot of countries have certain cities which are known as industry hub. So if your university is close to the industry hub that you want to go into, it might serve as an advantage, although I'm not sure how big this advantage is going to be, but still any advantage that you can get is a plus. Hope this was of some help to you. Be sure to join my college shortlisting session. Thank you for watching. See you next time.